Hello students, welcome to the online biology class chapter 5 fundamental unit of life part 3. In the last videos we have discussed about what is cell and what is cell made up of. Let us recall the previous knowledge. What is cell made up of? Cell is made up of three important components. What are those? They are plasma membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. In the previous video, we have discussed about plasma membrane and today we are going to know about cytoplasm. What is cytoplasm? Cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance which present between the nucleus and the plasma membrane. It has two important parts. They are cytosol and cell organelles. What is meant by cytosol? Cytosol is the fluid part of cytoplasm. You all know that cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance which is in fluid part. This fluid part of the cytoplasm is called cytosol and it contains many substances such as water, ions, enzymes, vitamins, amino acids, carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, etc. If you see the second part of cytoplasm, that is nothing but cell organelle. There are many cell organelles present inside the cytoplasm which perform specific cellular functions. Cell organelles are bounded by a membrane as in eukaryotes, but in prokaryotes the cell organelles lack the membrane. For example, if you see the virus lacks cytoplasm as well as membrane, as well as cell membrane. That's why it does not considered as living organism till it attacks one living body. Let us know about each and every cell organelle present inside the cytoplasm. First we will start with endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is a network-like structure which is distributed throughout the cytoplasm inside the cell. There are two types of endoplasmic reticulums. Those are rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Based on the presence or absence of the ribosomes on the surface of the endoplasmic reticulum is divided into two types. Rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum, which is characterized by the presence of ribosomes on its surface, it is called rough endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum which contains ribosomes on the surface of its body, those are called rough endoplasmic reticulum. And the endoplasmic reticulum which does not contain ribosomes on its surface are called smooth endoplasmic reticulum. At certain sites of endoplasmic reticulum, whatever it may be, rough or smooth, these are connected with the nuclear membrane of the nucleus. Here and there, this endoplasmic reticulum has connections with the nuclear membranes. The foldings of the endoplasmic reticulum generates a surface area much greater than that of the plasma membrane. Let us see the structure of endoplasmic reticulum. This is the picture of endoplasmic reticulum which is present inside the cell. This one same only. And if you observe here, small black spotted structures are present on the walls of the endoplasmic reticulum. These are rough endoplasmic reticulum, and this side if you see, all walls of this endoplasmic reticulums are smooth because there is devoid of ribosomes on the surface of the walls of endoplasmic reticulum. That's why these are called smooth endoplasmic reticulum and these type of structures are called rough endoplasmic reticulum. Now let us see the functions of endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum involves in the protein synthesis. That too, rough endoplasmic reticulum is the site of protein synthesis. because rough endoplasmic reticulum contains ribosomes on their body surface. Ribosomes has the capacity to produce proteins. Because of the presence of ribosomes on this type of rough endoplasmic reticulum, they involved in the protein synthesis. And then what is the function of smooth endoplasmic reticulum? Smooth endoplasmic reticulum helps in the lipid synthesis, that means fat molecules. Some of these proteins and lipids helps in the manufacturing of cell membrane. Whatever proteins, whatever lipids are synthesized by this endoplasmic reticulum, they participate in the preparation of cell membrane which covers the cell. This process is called membrane biogenesis. Formation of cell membrane is called membrane biogenesis. This is important point, note down it. Membrane biogenesis. Formation of cell membrane is called membrane biogenesis. And endoplasmic reticulum also involves in the transportation of so many substances inside the cell. It helps in the transportation of substances intercellular and intracellular, in between the two cells or inside the cell. They help in the transportation of substances from one cell to the another cell or inside the cell only to all parts of the cell. That is called intercellular or intracellular. Intercellular, in between two cells. Intracellular, inside the cell only. And also endoplasmic reticulum, it gives internal support to the cytoplasm, because I told you already endoplasmic reticulum is just like a network like structure throughout the cytoplasm. Because of this structure, it gives internal support to the cytoplasm. If you see the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, along with the lipid synthesis, it also takes part in the detoxifying many poisonous and drugs inside the cell. Let us see the differences between, briefly here, what is meant by smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum and what are those functions. In smooth endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes are absent and it involves in the synthesis of lipids and steroid hormones also. Mainly, it is formed of vesicles and tubules. Vesicles means nothing but bag-like structures. It formed because of the bag-like structures and tubules. If you see the rough endoplasmic reticulum here, ribosomes are present on this body surface. It involves in the synthesis of proteins and it is formed by the cisternae. Cisternae means long stalk-like structures which contains one cavity inside that which is called lumen. These stalk-like structures are called cisternae, long stick-like structures. It spreads throughout the cytoplasm of the cell. This is about the endoplasmic reticulum, one of the cell organelles. Now let us see about Golgi complex. Golgi complex was first described by the Camillo Golgi. He is one scientist. Camillo Golgi. Golgi complex is an organelle of membrane-bound sacs, tubules, vesicles and secrete complex biochemical substances. Golgi complex are nothing but sac-like structures. They have the interlinked connections with the endoplasmic reticulum. They have connections with the walls of the endoplasmic reticulum only. If you see the Golgi complex in animal cell, those are somewhat complex in structure. Look at here, so much of tubular structures are present which are arranged approximately in parallel way. All these stalk-like structures, strands are called cisternae. As I told you in the endoplasmic reticulum, in the Golgi complex also, these stalk-like structures, tubule-like structures which are arranged in parallel way, these are called cisternae. This is in the case of animal cell, it is somewhat complex in nature. If you observe in the plant cell, they form separate units. They look like small bag-like structures. See here, all so many bag-like structures are called sacs or vesicles. These vesicles, these bag-like structures are called, these separate units are called dictyosomes. In the case of plants, Golgi complex forms separate units which are called dictyosomes. And already I told you, membrane bound sacs of Golgi are called cisternae. Every cell organelle is surrounded by one membrane, I told you. Here this stalk-like structure which contain membrane, those are called cisternae. Cisternae occurs in stalks, tubes and vesicles occur on their periphery. See the structure of Golgi apparatus here. This blue color structures are Golgi complex. These are called cisternae, long strand-like structures. These are called cisternae. And next, let us see the functions of Golgi complex. Golgi complex involves in repair and synthesis of cell membranes. In the endoplasmic reticulum, we have learned that the proteins and lipids which are produced by the endoplasmic reticulum involves in the membrane biogenesis. Here, if you see this Golgi apparatus, it involves in the repair and synthesis of cell membrane again, because these are the parts of endoplasmic reticulum only, and mainly they take part in the storage, modifications and packaging of various biochemical substances produced by different components of the cell. All types of substances which are to be secreted or excreted are packed in vesicles by Golgi apparatus for passage to the outside. The components of the cell wall are synthesized by the Golgi complex. This is one more function of the Golgi apparatus. It involves in the preparation of components of cell wall. Cell wall is made up of cellulose, pectin, lignin. Already we have discussed in the last videos. Those components of the cell wall are synthesized by this Golgi complex only. Complex and special sugars are also made by Golgi apparatus. These complex and special sugars which are required by the cell are made by Golgi apparatus. Let us understand one more cell organelle. Those are lysosomes. These lysosomes are also called suicide bags. Suicide bags, very important point. Lysosomes are also called suicide bags. Let us see why these are called suicide bags. These lysosomes are present only in animal cells. They are absent in plant cells. If any question comes in the examination, which cell organelle is absent in plant cell? Lysosomes. Lysosomes are present only in animal cells. They are small spherical vesicles, that means sac-like structures, which are covered by single membrane. These type of lysosomes contain more strong, powerful digestive enzymes for intracellular digestion. These are the waste disposal cell organelles. The enzymes which are produced inside the lysosomes are synthesized by the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Already I told you lysosomes contain digestive enzymes, powerful digestive enzymes, which are synthesized by the rough endoplasmic reticulum. In the case of any damage happen to the cell, lysosomes bursts and they release these enzymes, and these enzymes digest the cellular components. If you see the functions of lysosomes, they involve in the destruction of foreign particles. If any bacteria, any food particles, unknown particles enters into the cell, they destruct that foreign particles. Lysosomes helps in the protection of cell, and it also participates in the intracellular digestion. And removal of cell waste. If any cell organelle gets damaged, that cell organelles also come to this lysosome and it is digested by that lysosome only because of the strong digestive enzymes present inside the lysosomes. And they maintain the time of metamorphosis, and the organs are digested by, just now I told you, if any cell organelle gets damaged, those cell organelles are digested by the lysosomes only. Even the lysosomes, any damage happen to the cell, they burst and release enzymes and they decompose themselves. That's why these lysosomes are called suicide bags. Lysosomes are also called suicide bags. See the structure of the lysosomes here. These are the parts of Golgi complex only. Lysosomes are formed by the Golgi complex. And they participate in the destruction of foreign particles mainly. These are lysosomes. Let us know about one more important cell organelle, that is mitochondria. Mitochondria is also called powerhouse of a cell. Why it is called powerhouse of a cell? The energy required for various chemical activities that are needed for our survival of the life is released by the mitochondria only. That's why it is called powerhouse of a cell. The energy which is released by the mitochondria is in the form of ATP. ATP means adenosine triphosphate. The adenosine triphosphate molecules are called the energy currency of the cell. ATP is also called energy currency of the cell. If you see the structure of mitochondria, it is bounded by two membranes. All other cell organelles present inside the cytoplasm of the cell contain single membrane. But in the case of mitochondria, it is bounded by two membranes. The outer membrane is somewhat smooth and it contains so many pores. It is porous and smooth. While the inner membrane is folded, which forms cristae. The inside of the mitochondria, some space is present which is called matrix. Inside the two bounded membrane cell, there is a space which is called matrix. This matrix contains DNA and ribosomes. This is the only special cell organelle which consists its own DNA and ribosomes. You all know that endoplasmic reticulum contains ribosomes, but DNA is present inside the nucleus. But this is the only special cell. Mitochondria is the only special cell organelle which contains its own DNA and own ribosomes. That's why they participate in the own proteins which are required for the further activities. See the structure of mitochondria here. The mitochondria is bounded by two membranes. Mitochondria is bounded by two membranes. This is outer membrane and these are called inner membranes. This is called inner membrane and this inner membrane is folded towards the matrix which is present. This empty place is all called matrix. This folded part of the inner membrane is called cristae. Cristae. If you see more deeply, this cristae contains so many rounded body-like structures like this. These are called oxysomes. I will draw here. One stalk-like structure which ends with one rounded body structure throughout the cristae. These are called oxysomes. These are called oxysomes. This is the structure of mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of a cell. It is bounded by two membranes, and the place between these two membranes is called matrix. Into the matrix, the inner membrane of the mitochondria is folded inwards. These foldings are called cristae. These foldings are called cristae. These cristae contain so many other small cells which are called oxysomes. Oxysomes. Now let us know about one more important cell organelle present in the cell. Those are plastids. Plastids are the cell organelles which are found only in the plant cells. These type of plastids are absent in animal cells. Why these are present only in plant cells? These are specialized to synthesize and store some organic substances which gives color to the parts of plant. Based on the pigments which are present inside these cell organelles, that means plastids are divided into two types. First one, leucoplasts. Second one, chromoplasts. Leucoplasts are also called white or colorless plastids, which gives white color to the parts of a plant. These type of plastids are present in the root system cells. Next, if you see the chromoplasts, they are colored plastids. That means yellow, orange, green, purple and non-green plastids also comes under this type of chromoplasts. If the chromoplast contain a green color pigment, that means chlorophyll, that type of chromoplasts are called chloroplasts. If the plastids contain green color pigment, that type of colored plastids are called chloroplasts. You all know that about chloroplast, which is present in the green parts of a plant, and it is very helpful in the photosynthesis process. This chloroplast only traps the sunlight and utilize that energy in the preparation of its own food. Let us see the differences here between the leucoplasts and the chromoplasts. Leucoplasts are colorless plastids. If you see the structure of this, shape of these leucoplasts, they are in cylinder to round in shape. They found in unexposed cells, that means which are present inside the soil. These type of cells, these type of plastids do not expose to the sunlight. They found in the unexposed cells. Mostly root system present inside the soil only. If you observe the color of that roots after cleaning the dust particles from the root system, you can observe the white color part in the root system because of the leucoplasts. And what is the function of this leucoplast? They take part in storage of food, and they can change to other types also sometimes. If you see the chromoplast characteristics here, they are non-green plastids. Here we are discussing about non-green plastids only. They may be in brown or reddish in color, irregular in shape, and they are present in exposed cells of a plant. Maybe they are present in unexposed cells also. At some times they do not store the food and they provide color to the parts of a plant. This is about the plastids. Let us see the picture of plastids, how they are. See more detail about chloroplasts. Chloroplasts are also called kitchen of the cell. Why it is called kitchen of the cell? Just now we have discussed about chloroplasts are very important in the production of food materials by the process of photosynthesis. Is it right? It traps the sunlight. Where do we find these chloroplasts? Chloroplasts are present in the green color parts of a plant. This chloroplast is bounded by two membranes, just like mitochondria. It also contains two membranes, and the place which is present in between inside the chloroplast is called stroma. Inside the stroma, so many stalk-like structures are present, which are called grana. grana. What is the function of this grana means? Up to now I told you chloroplasts trap the sunlight. Which part of the chloroplast trap the sunlight means? Inside the chloroplast so many stalk-like structures are present. Those are also called thylakoids. Each grana consists stalk-like structures. Those are called thylakoids. These thylakoids trap the sunlight and utilize that light energy into chemical energy. I hope you have understood about plastids. Three types of plastids are present based on the pigment present in that: leucoplast, chromoplast. If the chromoplast contain green pigment, that type of plastids are called chloroplasts. Chloroplasts are also called kitchen of the cell. These type of plastids are present only in plant cell. They are absent in animal cell. That's enough here. See the functions of plastids. Just now we have discussed. Plastids provide color to fruits, flowers, and because of this colorfulness, they attract the insects, which is very helpful for the pollination. Leucoplasts take part in storage of food materials. In the previous slide we have learned what are those food materials means. They may store proteins, starch and oils also. Chloroplasts trap solar energy to manufacture food through photosynthesis process. Oxygen is being consumed in combustion and respiration. Carbon dioxide is being produced in the two processes. Chloroplasts maintain the balance of these two gases by absorbing carbon dioxide from the environment and by releasing the oxygen into the environment during photosynthesis process. Let us know about one more cell organelle, that is ribosome. Where we have heard this word? Yes, the body surface of the endoplasmic reticulum contains ribosomes. These are small rounded body structures. They may be present in free state in the cytoplasm and also attached to the surface of the endoplasmic reticulum. Based on the presence of these ribosomes only, endoplasmic reticulum is divided into two types. If you see the structure of ribosome, they are not bounded by membrane. They are composed of proteins and RNA. What is meant by RNA? Ribonucleic acid. And they are present in both prokaryotes and eukaryotes also. But they are absent in mammalian RBC. RBC means red blood cell. They are absent in red blood cells. And what is the function of this ribosome? Ribosomes are the site of protein synthesis in the cell. Ribosomes participate in the production of proteins. Now let us see one more important cell organelle, centrosome. These centrosomes are small naked organelles present near the nucleus. These are very useful during cell division. It has sheath of special cytoplasm called centrosphere. Internally, if you see, it contains two micro cylinder-like structures which are called centrioles. These centrioles are present just like right angles to each other. These are very important during cell division. Let us know about one more important cell organelle, that is nothing but vacuole. These vacuoles are also called storehouse of the cell. Do you remember what is powerhouse of the cell? Yes, that is mitochondria. These vacuoles are called storehouse of the cell. Why these are called storehouse of the cell? Vacuoles are the stored sacs for solids or liquid contents. If you see the size of the vacuole in the animal cell, these are very small in size. But in the case of plant cells, they are very large in size. Because of this big size, the cytoplasm present in the plant cell is pushed towards to the plasma membrane. Nearly 50 to 60% of the cytoplasm is occupied by the vacuole only in the case of plant cells. Then if you see the structure here, vacuole is also covered by one membrane which is called tonoplast. Tonoplast. The layer which surrounds this vacuole is called tonoplast, and the material which is present, fluid filled material present inside the vacuole is called tonoplasm. It stores all types of materials like solids and liquids and also some type of waste materials also. In some cases like amoeba, these vacuoles are also involved in the digestion because they contain some digestive enzymes, and these digestive enzymes helps in the digestion of food particles inside the vacuoles in the case of unicellular organisms like amoeba. See this picture here, these sap-like structures are called vacuoles. In animal cells, these are small. In plant cells, they occupy 50 to 60% of the cell place. See the structure here? This empty part is called vacuole. It is one plant cell. Maximum place of the plant cell is occupied by vacuole only. It gives support and turgidity to the cell because it stores all type of solids and liquids and some waste materials also. It gives one mechanical support to the plant cell. This is about the storehouse of the cell. That means vacuoles. They help in the storage and packing of all the materials. This is about the second important component of the cell, that is cytoplasm. We have seen here so many cell organelles, their structures and their functions. In the next video, we will learn about one more important cell component, that is nothing but nucleus. Hari Om. Thank you.